Nice that you looking at. Why is Taylor Swift so popular? Whether you're a fan of Taylor Swift or not, it's hard to deny the cultural and financial juggernaut the pop superstar has become this year. Her album, Midnights, released in late 2022, was the year's top seller at 1.8 million copies, twice that of the second biggest by Harry Styles. Her latest, Speak Now, Taylor's version, debuted in July at number 1, giving Swift her 12th in the top spot, surpassing Barbra Streisand for the most number 1 albums by a woman artist. Swift's 131-date, Eras, World Tour, currently packing stadiums across the US, is on track to be the highest-grossing concert tour of all time, at $1.4 billion, when it ends next year. Analysts estimate the tour will also have a total economic impact from tour-related spending of $5 billion on host cities. Even the Federal Reserve noted the effect her tour is having on regional economies. To better understand the Swift phenomenon, the Gazette asked some Harvard and Berklee College of Music faculty to assess her artistry, fan base, the tour's economic impact, and her place in the industry. Interviews have been edited for clarity and length. She has a lot of different gifts as a songwriter, both at the macro level, how the song tells a story or presents an attitude, and at the micro level, how the vowels and consonants fit together, and she's able to exercise that range, along with quite a lot of melodic gifts, and in a way that does not make her seem highbrow or alienate potential audience members. I would not be surprised to discover that her body of songwriting altogether had a larger number of words than any body of comparable hit songs by a comparable songwriter, except for someone like Bob Dylan. One of the things that's really remarkable for me about her is that harmonically, she's not usually that interesting. It's pretty normal pop chord progressions and pretty standard varieties of pop arrangement. Her great genius and her innovations and her brilliance as a songwriter is melodic and verbal. And, of course, she's also very good at singing, which is not to be sneezed at. But she's able to do that within the fairly tight constraints of existing, easily recognizable chord progressions and rhythmic setups. She's able to create verbal hooks. I'm only 17. I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. They stick in your mind, and you spin stories out from them. That's just being a good writer. She's a celebrity with a complicated personal life that has been lived in the public eye for quite some time, and so people speculate about the meanings of her songs, both because they are complex and meaningful works of art, and because some of them do speak to public facts about her life outside the songs. 15, which is a terrific song, gains resonance if you know that it's about a real person and they're still friends. But no one would care if it weren't a brilliantly constructed song. Take something from Speak Now. It's nice to know that Dear John is about John Mayer, who really had no business dating a 19-year-old, but it's also a song about a pattern of behavior. And it works in itself. There's all kinds of celebrity gossip about pop stars who maybe have her level of vocal talent and performing talent, but happen not to have her level of songwriting talent. Very few people have her songwriting talent. In the case of Taylor, there's a couple of things going on. The first piece is relatability. Even though there's aspects of her that maybe don't feel very relatable, she's a celebrity and lives a very different life from her fans. What she is singing about, the lyrical content as well as the emotions that underlie the lyrical content, are very relatable to a lot of people. There's something that is very common to the human experience. Another piece is a lot of millennials, as well as Gen Z now, are fans of Taylor Swift. With the millennials, a lot of people grew up alongside her, when they were having some of these first experiences, maybe with relationships or entering adulthood. She was doing that at the same time and singing about that. Her life story mapped onto their life story, in some way. For Gen Z, during the pandemic, there was a lot of TikTok content about her. She was putting out many albums, so a new generation discovered her, and they're also having similar experiences. Overall, she's been really important for identity development and growth for a lot of people. A third piece is aspirational. She is a role model. She is a great example of someone who sticks to their values and shows their fan base that they can reach their goals, whatever those might be. For instance, she's claiming ownership of her work and has been successful in putting out re-recordings of her older albums, and doing that despite barriers or obstacles that might be in the way. Seeing someone do something like that could be inspiring for a lot of young people. And then, lastly, the fan community is a big part of this. People often form their identity around relationships not just with a celebrity, but also with other fans. The fan community that Taylor has around her. People meet their friends through it and people become part of something bigger than themselves. That is really important for them as they grow up and as they go through life. The costs to the public sector can be quite significant. And the cost for people in these areas who are not directly benefiting can be quite significant in terms of congestion, use of roads, just wear and tear, in terms of policing. This is a really important one, the cost of public order. Unless the government really thinks this through and charges for this as part of its permitting process, the government can end up on the short end after these kinds of events. The other thing about these events that is increasingly attracting attention, from a public policy perspective, are climate change concerns. You have many people transporting themselves to a small area and a lot coming through the air and through vehicles. This is something we worry about a lot more with prolonged mega events like a World Cup than with something like a Taylor Swift concert, but you do need to think about what those costs are. First of all, if you're going to talk about Taylor Swift, you've got to talk about the power of great songs. It all starts with the power of great songs. That's why we're still listening to the Beatles, and Bob Dylan, and Frank Sinatra. And like Bowie and Gaga and Dylan, she's not afraid to stretch. She's not afraid to bring her audience for a ride. We've seen her grow up in real life, from a young girl to a woman with power, and she's owning it. Number 2, and this is really important. You've got to be great live. My students come to me and say, "We have 53 likes on this video, and we're not selling tickets." They don't understand the power of going in front of people and blowing them away. In my business, as a manager, 80% of the income comes from live performances, so I want them to change lives live. I'm a massive Springsteen fan. I'm going to be seeing Springsteen at Gillette. I've seen him 12 times. I don't need to see Bruce anymore. I'm an old guy, but I'm still going to rock concerts for artists to change my life. Taylor Swift's songs, combined with how great she is live, is a powerful combination. She's always had a good team around her, smart people around her, good publicists, and good management. When you're that good, you have the best in the industry. Her team is great. They build anticipation. They create a buzz about things. She's imprinted her fans in such a way that they want everything about her. The day before a big stadium show, the t-shirt stand is open and there's thousands of people in line. They hang on to every word of her social media posting. Look at all the pictures. They share it. They talk about it. They have groups. That's really hard to pull off. This is the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.